Hey guys, so I haven't filmed a video in a really long time, nor have I put one up. I believe I had my June favorites ready to go up, and now it's the middle of July and I still haven't put it up. And basically life just kind of happened a lot. So the end of June, I would say, I started feeling really depressed, and I was diagnosed with manic depression at 12 years old. And so I got on medicine for that. I figured out all of that as far as medication goes, and I can make a whole other video about that experience, but normally with the medicine I'm fine. Sometimes certain things trigger and then I start feeling really down. And a lot of times the summertime triggers that for me because I don't have a lot to do. I don't have a lot of human interaction and it kind of gets a little hard. I don't have a lot of friends where I live. Most of my friends are people that are going to my university but that don't live around me, so I don't have a lot of day-to-day human interaction. I really have like one or two friends out where I live, and my friend recently moved in with her girlfriend, so they live a little bit far away and I can't really see them that often, and so I just kind of felt really lonely. The whole, watching Netflix every day and sleeping was kind of getting monotonous. And I know this sounds really trivial, but if you've ever been in a place of depression, then you know that it's not easy. I basically had a routine: cry, wake up, cry, eat, take a nap, cry, eat, sleep. And I just did it all over again. And it was really bad for about 2 weeks, and then 4th of July happened and my friend actually came over to go to this local park and watch a fireworks show, and that was fun. And then Monday came and I was starting to feel down again, so I was gonna go pick up some food for my parents, and I was driving my dad's really old car. It's basically as old as I am. So his car's pretty much as old as I am, and a lot of the fluids were out of whack, so my dad would always have to keep putting these different fluids in, and I had noticed that the brakes were getting really hard to press down on, and so I was on the freeway and everyone started to stop really fast and I could not brake in time and I totaled the car. And at the time of the accident, I was kind of just in shock. I was crying, and my parents came, and I got threatened to get beat up by this girl's boyfriend, whose car I didn't even hit, weirdly enough. But everyone was okay. There was no blood. There were no immediate injuries. So I got the worst damage. The lady I hit just had a part of her bumper, but it didn't hit too hard. But my car was totaled. It was about an inch away from shattering the glass. The airbags went off. I got a bruise, it's gone now, thankfully, from the airbag, and I got a seatbelt mark, which I'm not sure you can see it a little bit right here, but just kind of a seatbelt mark from that. And at first, when we were dealing with the cops and dealing with insurance, I couldn't tell that anything was wrong. I thought I was fine. But my friend, when I told her, was really hysterical, and she was like, "You won't know if you're hurt until later because of all the adrenaline, so you need to go get checked out." So the next morning I got checked out and they said everything was normal, but I was in a lot of pain starting a few hours after the accident. So my neck really hurts, my head's always in pain. It's hard for me to walk. It was really hard for me to get up and walk the first couple days after the accident. My lower body, when I sit down for a really long time, it gets really hard for me to stand up and go walk. But really it's just my neck. My neck kills me. I can't sleep. properly. Like I really don't sleep much anymore because everything is so uncomfortable for me in my neck, and I can't really sit down. It's hard for me to like sit up straight because it hurts so bad, so I'm kind of just like hunched over, and yeah, but I could have died, and that was really scary. Like, you think I was just going out to get us some ice cream sandwiches at this local place, and it could have died. So that was really terrifying, but thankfully our insurance coverage is really good, and the lady who I hit will, you know, get her stuff fixed, no problem. But that leaves me hurt. And then also our family now has one car, and my dad uses that car now to go to work. Obviously my mom's disabled, and then I'm hurt, but even when I get better, I'm not going to be able to go out unless someone picks me up, which is kind of hard because being able to drive made me feel so independent. Even something so simple as driving to get McDonald's or something for lunch, it makes a huge difference when you're just trapped, and that kind of fueled my depression also. So that was the past Monday, and then yeah, yesterday was Saturday, and my dog has been, one of my dogs has lost about half of his body weight. He went blind, he had cataracts, he's basically toothless, but he was still really happy and somehow like still pretty energetic despite everything. He had a huge appetite still, so we were kind of just waiting around. Then I woke up yesterday morning, my dad was at work, and he was bleeding all over the floor. There was like a cyst by his tail, and he was bleeding all over. And so I knew that that was the last day I would have him. So we were really freaked out. My dad had to come home from work because, again, he has the car. We had to drive up to the emergency vet, and I don't know why I thought we could save him or maybe get some sort of treatment, but one of the first questions they asked was what color box we wanted for the ashes. So that's how I knew, you know, there was no chance of him coming back home with us, and I lost it. They had us go into this examination room and gave us time to say goodbye to him, and it's my first pet I've ever lost, and it's really hard. Even my other dog has been staring at the spot where he used to lay, has been smelling around the house trying to look for him, has been smelling outside. She won't eat her food. She knows that her brother's gone, and it's really hard to deal with. So with the bout of depression, with car accident, with my dog passing away, I haven't been as on top of things as I should be as far as YouTube goes, but I do have a reason, obviously. And if you're going through a shitty time, there's actually a quote, because I watched Good Will Hunting again, which is one of my favorite movies, but I hadn't watched it since I was little. So I watched it, and it actually had a really important quote. It's Robin Williams' character. He says, "You'll have bad times, but it'll always wake you up to the good stuff you weren't paying attention to." So, I kind of have a newfound appreciation for life, and hopefully, if all else doesn't, you know, completely screw up. If nothing else goes really wrong, I should be back on a slightly more normal schedule. So I'm sorry about not posting regularly, but life gets in the way. And I wanted to be there for him and for my family as much as I could, and not just, you know, go off and make videos. And even right now it's kind of hard to make a video, you know, it's really kind of fresh, but it was his time. So yeah, that's it, I guess, and I will see you guys next time.